Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Priscilla Baker. I am both a senior professor at the University of the Western Cape in chemistry. I am a SARChI chair in the area of analytical and electrochemistry. And today I'm also present as the acting DVC, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research and Innovation for the University of the Western Cape. And it gives me great pleasure to be at this auspicious occasion because UWC is so proud of all of its new chairs that are being acquired in this cycle, but also of its history of chairs in terms of building research capacity. To my knowledge, we are the university leading in the number of SARChI chairs, and this makes us very proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. What role should SARChI chair play in bridging academia, industry, and government?
Thank you. SARChI chairs have a critical role in transforming research, firstly, from individual research to consortium-led research or team management research. And this implies that we have to build both down and up and laterally. Down by looking at the students that we recruit and where we build capacity. Laterally by collaborating internally within our institutions, internally within the country, and also internationally. Because ultimately the research that we produce has to serve the national priorities, has to serve the priorities of every institution's operating plan. We deliberate at length what that should be, how our IOPs should reflect our culture, how our IOPs should reflect the contribution to society and the country that we live in. And so it's very important that our SARChI chairs are not one-dimensional, but that they embrace both training, capacity building, research development, and more recently, as we move to innovation, also the connection with industry, connection with our communities, to understand the value of our research in terms of the impact that it will make in those spaces. We cannot work in silos, we cannot work in isolation.
What does strategic leadership in a SARChI chair entail beyond academic excellence?
The SARChI Chair program is a wonderful initiative from government to build capacity where excellence resides. And so we are so happy to embrace that and to celebrate that today. But following on that investment, there has to be a strategic plan for where these SARChI chairs will make long-term impact. And for me, because we are in South Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, we have a critical role in building bridges across the African continent, connecting the north to the south, not in terms of other continents, but first in terms of the continent of Africa. So our partners in East Africa, West Africa, North Africa, for me, that is where, firstly, we need to look at strategies. And this is not an isolated viewpoint. I think it's a viewpoint that is embraced by UNESCO. It is a viewpoint that is embraced by the World Health Organization, where we as a resourced country, and we really are a well-resourced country for research in many ways, should also have that obligation, that imparting of knowledge, that sharing across the continent. And I like to think of it as building bridges, building centers of excellence that can expand their reach into all of Africa and then into the greater world. Because the competition is always outside of Africa versus inside of Africa. And inside of Africa, we cannot stand alone. We have to stand together. So these long-term Africa-based strategic plans for me are very important. And that's where I would like to see our SARChI chairs mature to, so that they become international centers of excellence as a follow-up to national centers of excellence.
Thank you so much, Prof. Do you have any closing remarks?
Yes, thank you very much. So my chair was awarded in 2018, one of the first rounds of allocations, I think, specifically for women. And it's in the space of analytical systems and processes for emerging and priority contaminants. It's different to a chemistry chair that focuses in one discipline. If you listen to the words, it deals both with priority and emerging contaminants, so the applications and usefulness for environmental and health applications, but also the systems that govern the concentrations of elements, the context that is provided by systems understanding. That's what we focus on. So we really build capacity. I think both my lab at the University of the Western Cape Sensor Lab, we've recently celebrated 100 PhDs graduated. We've moved into the space of innovation, taking our lead from the South African Research Infrastructure Roadmap investment to establish capacity for translating research to the next technology readiness level. So we are ready to lead not only South Africa, but Africa in that space. And we welcome participants from all over the continent, both to study, to be capacitated, to be trained in specific skills, as we build together this bridge across the continent and into the world. And it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the investment of my university. The DVC who has gone before me, Professor Frans, was very focused on building these young talents that are today emerging as SARChI chairs. And then all of my colleagues and students, really, it's the human capacity that makes the research investment worthwhile. So to the NRF, to DSTI, and everyone for today's celebrations, thank you very much, and congratulations to all our recipients.